Get rid of the old stuff. Yuck. Good to go, get dirty again. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Guess what? I don't know if you can hear the noise in the background here. That's right. Big Max. That's right, that's our heater. It's kind of cool up here in the shop right now. I got the heater on just to knock off the chill right now. I think it's a little over 50 degrees in here. So anyway, got the heater running. Just get the chill knocked off. But anyway, what we're getting ready to do, we got a big Thanksgiving race coming up here next weekend. This weekend, we're actually going to go out to the track and do some testing. I'll show you what I did to inside the car. As you know, I run no E, that's no electronics, so it's just using your foot only. Then I run electronics class, it's called Super Pro. Basically, that's where you push a button at the top bulb, then the computer takes over and launches the car for you. What I'm running Thanksgiving race is called No Box. Now what No Box is, it's actually where no electronics allowed to launch the car. I'm not using my foot, but I'm using a button to launch the car with, and you're leaving off the bottom of the bulb. So anyway, I do have a button in there I'm going to use for this race coming up. I haven't used it in a while, so that's why I'm going out this weekend to practice with it. So anyway, with that, what we're going to do, I need to rotate the tires on the rear. I need to change the oil and just make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight on this car for the for not only for this weekend, but for Thanksgiving race weekend coming up. So anyway, so with that, let's go ahead and get started, get the oil changed, swap the tires, and get ready to go out there and do some test and tune this weekend. So let's get started. Yeah, get rid of the old stuff. Yuck. Good to go, get dirty again. Okay. Get up here, get the oil. I need to get my diaper off here. That's what this is. This kludgy looking strap actually helps keep my diaper up. This is not an LS diaper. It's a diaper I had for my LT1 when I had it here in the car, but it does work. You can see here, it's our pan heater, so we can actually plug it in, heat up the oil on the bottom. That's our drain. That's what I'm trying to get to. So got my drain, got my filter here, and time to get this oil out of here. See what it looks like here in a second. Okay, I'm a dummy. That is not the oil drain. That's a sensor plug. I think oil level for the oil level, which obviously I don't have it. No, the drain is actually over here. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, let's go ahead and get the oil out of here. Okay, let's get the oil out here. I haven't seen it for a while. Hope I can get the pan positioned just right. Okay. See if I can do it without getting wet. Yeah, don't look too bad. Being methanol and stuff should look pretty clean, and which it does. Good thing you don't see any milkiness coming out of it. If you would have seen a lot of milky, it means a lot of water was in the oil from the methanol. So as you can see here, it's pretty darn clean. I mean, the car's cold, so I was hoping that I don't know if the water would sink in the oil or might lay on top of it. Probably lay on top of it. So as it gets down toward the end here, we'll see if there's any actually water in it or not. But this is a good sign. If you've ever seen one of my other videos where when I opened the drain plug and it came out all milky, I'll put a link up here in the video, or over here. Anyway, I put a link up here. You know, I'll show you what it looked like before when I actually milked the oil, and actually how I resolved it too. So anyway, I think that's in that same video. But this oil is what you want to see when you run methanol, you don't want to see any milkiness in the oil at all. So it's just about all drained here. We're gonna get some fresh stuff in it and go from there. I mean, this is another good shot of the oil. You can see the light reflecting actually through the oil here. So that just shows you how good clean this oil is. And the reason why it's really clean is because the fuel that we're running. So we're actually running methanol, which does not have any oil base components that's in it. So that's why usually your oil should stay pretty clean all the time running methanol. So let's get some fresh stuff in here. Okay, I don't know about you, but I usually go ahead and put some oil in my filter before I actually put it up there, just to make sure this thing has some oil in it. I mean, you can spend 10 minutes trying to put oil in this, but I like to go ahead and just get at least enough oil in there that has some oil to get started up. It helps get those pleats filled with oil, so less oil starvation for the motor, I guess you could say. So yes, I run O'Reilly's full synthetic. Been doing O'Reilly's oil for quite some time in pretty much all my motors I have ran. I used to run the ZR1 stuff for another brand, Mobile One I think it was. I used to run that, but after we tear the motors down and using this stuff, I have had no issues with bearings or any of that good stuff. And I'm not easy on these motors, I guess you could say. And we spend these things 7,000, 7,100, and looks pretty good inside. So guess I just jinxed myself, didn't I? Anyway, like I said, get some oil on it. That's how I would do it. If you can do it differently, that's fine, but for me, I usually add some oil to it. So let's go ahead and get it back up in the hole. Okay, got the plug back in, got the filter back in. Yes, I do run a Wix filter. These are, in my opinion, are one of the best filters made. So anyway, got another question. If anybody knows, what I like to do is relocate this guy filter back up to the front. Now on my LT1 block I actually ran what we call a remote oil filter. It lets me run a much bigger filter. Plus it makes it a little bit easier to change, so all I have to do is just drain the oil and get the filter from the top there. So anyway, love to go back to a remote filter. At one time I did try to find some adapters. I tried to use my small block adapters on here, but for some reason I just could not get it to work. Couldn't get my routes passages correctly, so I'm not too sure what it's going to take. I don't know if it's going to take a different pan or a different adapter that I had, which I think they sell some LS1 type adapters. The LT or the small block adapters would fit on here, but I just couldn't get it routed around the headers and all that stuff properly how I wanted it. So maybe I was just in a hurry, didn't even take my time, but I definitely like to go ahead and get a remote filter for this car. So I just think, one, I can run a much bigger filter, gives me more filtering capabilities, and anyway, at least that's my thoughts. But hey, if you don't think that's a good idea, leave comments down there. If you got some comments about it, leave it down there as well. So I'm just trying to get some opinions if keep the filter in the stock location or remote mount it. So I ran it all season, past 2 years I ran it like this, and so far it seems like it's been holding up pretty good, so I might just leave it. I don't know, save some money. But with that, let's go ahead and get the diaper pulled back up and get it all buttoned up, and we'll go ahead and get ready to get the tires swapped. So here we go. All buttoned back up, kind of the diapers kind of tucked away, but hey, it's legal for the track now. So anyway, let's go ahead and check some nuts and bolts. Got some oil dripping off there, and need to get cleaned off. Anyway, gonna check a bunch of nuts and bolts on here, make sure everything's good and tight, especially the brake calipers and all that. Make sure those are still good and tight, and just kind of give a good once over, wipe down to make sure everything looks really clean underneath the best we can. Also yesterday I had to do some adjustments on my starter. I actually had to put another shim underneath because for some reason it felt like it was hanging up or something like that, and what we found out that the gear was too close to the flywheel, so we shimmed it out a little bit, get a little more space, and that should help the starting issues that we're having, mainly during the colder months, which is weird. But anyway, warmer months not as much, and once it warms up we don't have issues. Only when the first initial startup, on this is when we was having issues with it. So I think maybe it was just too close together. I don't know. So you think with the metal gets hotter, it expands, but I don't know. But anyway, we shimmed it down, and hopefully that will take care of it. We'll find out here when we get ready to start the car up before we get her on the trailer. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started with the rest of this stuff. So here we go. Okay, got the tires rotated and all that stuff. So I got tires on this side. Just moved it to the other side, just kind of rotated them around and all that good stuff. Go ahead and get my lug nuts put back on here and get everything back together. So I'm going to torque these things down about 100 pounds. And after we make a pass on the track, I'll check them again, maybe one more time after that, just to make sure these things are staying solid. It's aluminum wheel, so yeah, things move around. So just make sure you keep things good and tight, especially if you're taking a wheel off and on the car. You always have to go back and recheck your lug nuts just to make sure things are staying good and tight. So let's go ahead and get all this tightened up, put it on the ground, and we'll torque it on down. So here we go. I'm going to do just a quick little fact, or not a fact, but the type of lug nuts I run. This wheel is use an acorn style lug nut, okay? But what I do, or what I'm actually using, hope you can see this, I'm using acorn style nut, but I'm using with a shank, okay? So one, that gets me more surface area on the threads, so the shank is longer, so that's actually give more threads through the shank. Plus it helps give you alignment capabilities, plus it gives you a shoulder to rest on as well for the wheel. So that should give it more strength for the wheel and for the surface area on the wheel stud itself. So instead of just having a little bitty surface area on the stud, there we go, surface area on the stud, it gives a little bit more, so less chance of breaking these things off. So anyway, thought I'd share that information. I don't run those on the front, the shank style on the front, just on the rear only. The one in the front, just regular normal acorn style nut. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you in case anybody uses these type of wheels. I would definitely use those shank style acorns, I think is what they call it, but anyway, on their wheels. So here we go. Okay, just have to add the oil, get this thing ready, get it started, get it warmed up kind of bit before we head out to the track. So next thing you're going to see is me starting this. Hope it starts up good, getting this thing loaded on the trailer. We're going to head out the track and do some testing today. So then when we get out there, I'll show you the button I'm using actually out there at the track. So anyway, let's go ahead and get the oil in and head on out to the track. Okay guys, you can see behind me, got the trailer all loaded up. In fact, the car's all warmed up. We went ahead and just let it run up here at the shop and get it all warmed up and all that good stuff, so we don't have to worry about when we get the track and get too much heat in it and all that, or waiting to get that much heat in it. So we should hit the track pretty early. So as soon as we get out there, get the car offloaded, let there idle a little bit, we're gonna go out to the lanes and get it pass in pretty quick. So we're not going to be there, try to be there all day. We think it's going to be busy, but really don't know. But let's go ahead and get started, get down the track, and let's see what this thing can do. So, oh, also need to show you my button I'm going to be using for the no box race here for next weekend. So here we go. Oh, by the way, Pop's supposed to be here. Not too sure where he's at. Might have to text him, see where he's at. So let's get started. Okay, I'm going to show you what type of button I'm using here. I'm using a Terminator button. It's for off my bottom bulb launch. So this one I'm going to be using. You can adjust how much delay by you adding more or less of these rings. I'm going to start off there and see what happens. I have to make sure I can find these rings. I don't know if I can find any more. So anyway, let's go ahead and get down the track and see what happens. air out of the tank. Well, I hope you enjoyed those videos going down the track. Like I said, all we were out here doing today is strictly test and tune only. So trying to get ready for the Thanksgiving race. So all those launches were actually off of the trans brake, off that button I showed you in the car. So overall, did pretty good. I had one red light at 009, had a 10, I think a 34 and a 27. So not bad. The car is really consistent. It ran 3 663s. I think we had one 660 in there. So I'm pretty pleased with that. So I'm pretty pleased how the car is running. So can't wait to bring this thing on out here for Thanksgiving, see if we can get this thing in the winter circle. So anyway, that's it for today, for until the Thanksgiving race that's coming up next week. So anyway, but if you have any comments, just go and leave it down in the section. I'd like to hear from you, especially see how you think I'm going to do and all that stuff. So anyway, with that, if you do like what you see, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and go ahead and hit that like button. Sure do appreciate it.